Hey, it's Sheriff Dan here again. We're playing some Offworld Trading Company. Hopefully we can do a little bit better this time. And we're going to start a new campaign. So this time I want to try the robots. So robotic experience can be lonely at times. Metal is often anxious in such a rusty environment. Faithful in service to humankind, preparing the way for the future is end goal. Perhaps we can have a friend one day. And so we're going to do this on employee Iron Man mode, so we can't restart missions, daily seed, and so on. It looks like we start with some new stuff. What are we looking at here? Superconductor. Okay. Wind turbines are pretty important. Alright. Interesting. Let's start this mission up. So what are we going to start with? Mission rewards, steel shipment, bribe claim mule. I like the idea of this. This sounds pretty standard. Let's hire some staff. We already have a couple of these wind farms engineers. I assume we can actually build wind farms themselves. Let's hope so. How much money do we have? 600,000. We could consider a geothermal plant. That's usually quite handy, especially as we don't need oxygen as robots, but we do need power. But do we go all in on wind turbines? Is the question. You know what, let's just launch the business without it. We're going up against Anastasia Zhu and Maisie Song. Okay. Seizing opportunities where others see the limits. Alright, loading in here. Focus on producing a primary resource with your first claims. Carbon for scavengers. Okay.
Medium levels of aluminum found. Medium levels of water found.
Some nice stuff over there.
High levels of silicon found.
So our big resources are aluminium, I should say steel, and that thing. We kind of want to be on high ground as well because we get increased production, power production.
Medium levels of iron found.
Doesn't seem to do much on these high ground areas though. Maybe we should just go down here for the aluminium and water. Sort of do our best. How about that? Have we seen any?
High levels of aluminum found. Scavenger HQ has been found. High levels of carbon found. High levels of iron found.
Everyone else is sort of getting started there. I'm a little bit worried. Yeah, let's start over here. Sort of in the corner of the map, which is a bit risky, but we'll try and make it work. So let's get some iron, silicon, and I like that already. Now we have one more
The
claim.
black market is online.
What does this require? Consume silicon and oxygen to produce glass.
A scavenger HQ has been upgraded.
We're going to need aluminium as well. Okay, so we're getting started. And we're not very central, which is a bit annoying, and it's okay. I was more focused on getting on the high ground for my bonuses.
An expansive HQ has been upgraded.
We have enough electronics. We do need to create steel, though. We can upgrade now. Let's do that. And I'd like to construct a steel mill. We have plenty of power just from that one. I am going to want to get oxygen, though, I believe. So are we gonna need electronics? So carbon, silicon, aluminium. Need a lot of aluminium. Let's see what our rivals are doing here. Anastasia's got a bit of carbon. Oh wow, it doesn't look like there's... Oh, there's small carbon around still. So there's 2.0, 1.5. A lot closer to use power.
A scavenger HQ has been upgraded. A new claim is available for auction.
Yeah, well, let's get that one. Do we want this? Yeah, let's try and get it. Keep it out of their hands. Don't want it if it goes above 10, though. Nah. I can always purchase bribe a claim for 2,000, so...
Sold!
Not quite needing it just yet. So we'll set up our electronics. This should just started pretty nicely. Electronics are still rather expensive. The price of them is going up as well. What else requires silicon? Glass, which we can't make. Chemicals, though we don't have a patent lab, so it doesn't really matter. What do you require? Carbon's dirt cheap at the moment, so that's fine. I would like to use up some more of this iron if I can.
An expansive HQ has been upgraded.
Now, of course, the main aim of this game is to buy colony habitats and modules. It's going to require... We're going to have to focus on the electronics one, I imagine. So we don't really have fuel or carbon to create chemicals. Or water, food, and oxygen. Water is quite cheap, though. And we just need some more steel, so I think we'll hold out, we'll upgrade, get some more steel, get some more electronics. What does this require? So aluminium plus money, electronics plus money. And we are building up a bit of a debt, of course, because of this electronics factory. That's okay. Auction starting soon.
Now for auction, one mutiny on the building of your choice.
Mutinies. Alright, if no one else wants it, I will take it, but... Looks like it is not going to happen.
Congratulations.
Power prices are starting to go up a little bit. By having two of them next to each other should help. I would like another electronics factory once this steel mill goes live. We could probably even decommission. Actually, this is making 3 iron. So maybe just one more.
Scavenger HQ has been upgraded.
Some bastards put a mutiny on my wind turbines. They're stealing my power. We should focus where we are strong. Okay, so iron production this is eating up the iron production 1-on-1. And that's just making 2.0 at the moment. We still have one additional claim. Why not make it electronics? That's going to be 75%, so let's try that. I'm going to sell off our debt just before midnight so we get hit with hopefully no interest. Or at least very minimal interest. Well, let's buy a claim and get some more stuff happening. Solar condenser costs glass, which we currently have. We could get a water pump. What's the water situation looking like? Not great. Bring in the solar condenser. Slowdown strikes a bit of a worry though. Might want to... We could probably sell iron's not really worth much at the moment. But plenty of aluminium. Steel's slowly coming along.
The black market is open for business.
Well, let's
Freelance pirates are auctioning their services to the highest bidder.
let's get some of these while we can. Pirates can be pretty handy. Especially, we can get some of those resources which are... Oh. So I could go 20 there. I think that's too rich for my blood, though.
Sold.
Depending on where people are set up, you can kind of steal a lot of stuff there. Ooh, shortages of all sorts.
An expansive HQ has been
Pirates.
upgraded.
I hate those filthy bandits.
Maybe we should sell iron. Strike while that iron is hot, for example. What is still worth a lot here? Glass might actually just be too expensive for us. Price of electronics is still very high as well, so let's see if we can make another one. Aluminium, carbon, silicon. Got plenty of aluminium, a little bit of carbon coming in. Where is that carbon coming from? 2 from the elemental quarry. Okay, now it's in negative, but that's okay. We got plenty in storage. Same thing with silicon.
A scavenger HQ has been upgraded.
Glass, which we don't have. I didn't pay off the debt. 300. It's not terrible. But there's a pirate shooting down. What is it shooting down? Aluminium. It's okay. Not too worried about that, old mate. Now we do have 5 so far, so we are winning. But people are starting to... right, who's our next competitor? Amazing. Big slow down, that should hopefully buy us a bit of breathing room. We have 3 tiles to claim, okay. Another electronics factory, that seems to be going quite well. Plenty of
We have
carbon
a
to eat
hard to
into.
come by land claim
claim.
available to the highest bidder.
I would like that. I'm very low on money though. Essentially, I just don't want Maisie to get it. But would I be putting myself in too much debt? Yeah, that might be too much debt this early.
Congratulations!
Aluminium at 11,000. Total cost 15,000, 1,000, 1,000, 15,000, 19,000. Alright, let's go with the cheapest one. They're both 12k here. Now, of course, the more we buy, the more modules we buy, the better the payout we get at the end of the mission, I believe. Or the bigger the
black market is online.
Payout we get. Let's upgrade again. Water seems to be quite good, especially because we don't need it. I believe the more habitats they have, obviously more water will be used up, and they'll have to be buying it. Should drive that price up a little bit. 13k each still. Alright, we're at 10 modules, which is good. Max 24. Okay. Now we do have claims coming out the wazoo currently. I think just more and more electronics. Electrolysis would be okay. Mostly just to use up some of that spare water I have. Oh, magnetic storm. Lost a couple of units. That's not terrible though. I don't have that many flying units. Okay. Still have aluminium for days, so let's use up some of them. We're well ahead on this one. We're doing a lot
Nothing
better.
stops productivity quite like an electromagnetic pulse. Available for auction now.
I can bet who Maisie's going to put that on if she buys it. That could be either of these guys. I think I'll be okay if I get the
Sold.
Here we go, there's the EMP. I really should have defended something, but that might not have protected me from that. Wow, that has really slowed down a lot of my stuff though. 7 seconds. What's Maisie doing over here? I could purchase an underground nuke and destroy... she doesn't have a lot of mining operations here. She has some here. She is climbing up though. Let me go and get these guys back up. Why is this guy frozen for so long? What are you doing, buddy? Just because it's in the middle? It's alright. I'm losing water currently, so let's fix that. I just don't like being negative, although it's probably late game enough that I don't have to worry about it. I still have plenty of aluminium, so let's use up some of it with that. $26, $29, $22K. Oops. Probably didn't need to sell all of it.
The black market is open for business.
Getting very close here, so habitat modules 20, workplace modules 14. Future income of a colony is determined by the population at the end of Sol 7 and by the percentage of modules bought by the player. So I think that's going to be putting us in a pretty good position going into the start of this campaign. Let's defend this one. This one must be getting heaps. So it's making 0.73. Yeah, that's pretty good. Suck that, Maisie song. You crazy. Needs more workplace modules. Interesting. I'm trying to provide. Just because we're robots doesn't mean we don't know the definition of hard work. Oh, that's not great. That stopped producing briefly.
The black market is online.
Dan wins! Or the robots win, I should say. Okay, so 20 modules purchased. We're doing quite well so far. Steel was our biggest money sink. Biggest money maker. Yeah, you can go through all these different charts and see, you know, how many buildings of each person had. What kind of black market stuff people used. Patents, we don't really have a thing. Stock price. Stock price not so important in campaign, as you're building those modules as opposed to working on other things. Oh, that's great. So we get a steel shipment of 20 steel every time we upgrade our HQ, which is good to have. And we come out of that owning 64% of the Casma Burrell majority, with the Casma Burrell majority shareholder. Okay. Check out some new expansion opportunities. Pirates or mutiny. One of your workers has a cousin who knows a guy who could get you where. Pirates or mutiny. I like the idea of a free mutiny. Because then you gain the resource, all the resources from that one thing. Pirates, I think you get half, but it has to be intercepting them. Whereas mutiny, you can take over a couple of other things. Alright, well, we'll call it there for episode 1 of season 2, this robot scenario for Offworld Trading Company. I've been Sheriff Dan, you've been watching, and please hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll be back possibly next week with another episode. Cheers.